The introduction of Setting the Stage for Revolution delves into the complex social, political, and economic landscapes that paved the way for the American Revolution. This concept involves understanding the buildup of tensions between the 13 colonies and Great Britain, which set the revolutionary movement into motion. Key factors include the imposition of taxes without representation, such as the Stamp Act and Townshend Acts, the restriction of colonial self-governance, and the growing ideological shift towards Enlightenment thinking, which emphasized rights and liberties. The significance of this point lies in its role as the catalyst for the revolutionary fervor that eventually culminated in the Declaration of Independence and the subsequent fight for autonomy. Without understanding the pre-revolutionary context, the drastic move towards independence might seem abrupt or unwarranted. In reality, it was the culmination of years of mounting grievances and escalating responses. Two pivotal examples illustrate this point. First, the Boston Tea Party of 1773 was a direct reaction to the Tea Act, symbolizing colonial resistance to British economic control and taxation policies. It demonstrated the willingness of colonists to take dramatic action against perceived injustices. Second, the formation of the Continental Congress in 1774 represents a collective political response to British policy, underscoring the desire for a unified colonial voice. Scholars generally support the idea that these pre-revolutionary conditions were intrinsic to the eventual revolt. Historian Gordon S. Wood, for instance, highlights the impact of Enlightenment ideals on American revolutionary thought, emphasizing the colonists' pursuit of liberty. However, potential challenges to this viewpoint include the argument that economic motivations, rather than ideological ones, were the primary drivers of revolutionary sentiment. Some historians suggest that economic self-interest, especially among the colonial elite, played a more significant role than typically acknowledged. Additionally, there exists an alternative perspective that posits the revolution was not inevitable and could have been avoided through different British policies or greater compromises. This stage setting directly influences other aspects of the American Revolution, such as the drafting of key documents like the Declaration of Independence and the formation of revolutionary military strategies. The sense of injustice and desire for self-determination spurred colonists to unite under a shared cause, propelling the colonies towards independence and ultimately leading to the formation of a new nation. Understanding the groundwork of revolutionary sentiments allows for deeper insights into the motivations behind the American fight for freedom and the eventual establishment of the United States. The causes of the American Revolution represent the complex tapestry of political, economic, and social factors that motivated the 13 American colonies to seek independence from British rule. At its core, these causes revolved around the colonists' growing dissatisfaction with British policies and their desire for self-governance. The significance of understanding these causes lies in the realization that they set the stage for the birth of a new nation founded on principles of liberty, equality, and democracy. One primary cause was the imposition of taxes and trade restrictions by Great Britain. The colonists, having no representation in the British Parliament, saw laws such as the Stamp Act of 1765 and the Townshend Acts of 1767 as direct assaults on their rights. These taxes were meant to offset Britain's expenses in defending the colonies, but they sparked a widespread protest known as No Taxation Without Representation, which became a rallying cry for the revolution. Another key catalyst was the Intolerable Acts of 1774, enacted in response to the Boston Tea Party. These punitive measures further united the colonists against British tyranny showcasing the growing divide over the control and governance of the colonies. The significance of these events extends beyond the immediate conflict, as they underline the emergence of American political identity and ideology. For instance, the First Continental Congress of 1774, formed in response to the Intolerable Acts, represented the first unified colonial government, fortifying the colony's resolve to operate independently of British rule. This cooperative spirit is a testament to how these causes laid the groundwork for unification and action towards independence. Opinions abound that support the view of the revolution as a justified struggle against oppression. However, challenges to this perspective exist, particularly concerning the varying motivations among colonists. Loyalists, for instance, remained supportive of British governance, arguing that colonial rebellion was unjust and detrimental. Additionally, historical analysis reveals that underlying economic interests and social stratifications also played roles, highlighting how the drive for independence was not universally embraced or motivated by ideological purity alone. The causes of the American Revolution intricately connect to the broader theme of the revolutionary period by setting into motion the debates and ideological foundations that shaped the nation's governance. From the Declaration of Independence to the Constitution, the revolution sparked a series of events that redefined governance, crafted a collective national identity, and influenced other colonies globally to pursue self-rule. Understanding these origins enriches the narrative of the United States founding and the evolving quest for freedom and justice. The concept of major battles and military strategies in the context of the American Revolution revolves around the key military engagements and the strategic maneuvers that shaped the war's outcome. These battles and strategies were instrumental in the colony's struggle for independence from British rule. Significant engagements like the battles of Lexington and Concord, Bunker Hill, and Saratoga laid the groundwork for victory, while the siege of Yorktown effectively ended the war. The significance of this element is profound, as these battles and strategic decisions were the turning points that led to the eventual formation of the United States. The significance of examining these battles and strategies is that they demonstrate the tactical evolution of the American forces and underline the importance of strategic planning and local knowledge in overcoming a seemingly superior military force. For example, the Battle of Saratoga in 1777 proved to be a decisive American victory and is often considered the turning point of the American Revolution. This victory convinced France to openly support the American cause, which was crucial in providing added resources and military assistance. Similarly, the Siege of Yorktown in 1781, where British General Cornwallis's forces were effectively trapped by American and French armies, culminated in British surrender, signaling a decisive end to major military hostilities. The strategic decisions made during these battles underscore the ingenuity of American commanders like George Washington, who effectively utilized guerrilla warfare tactics and leveraged alliances with foreign powers. Opinions from historians often highlight these strategies as critical to overcoming the professional British Army, emphasizing the adaptability and resilience of the American forces. However, the American Revolution's military strategies are not without their challenges and controversies. Some view the revolution as a gamble with high human costs, questioning whether the ends justified the means. Additionally, there are perspectives that suggest that British military strategies were often hampered by logistical difficulties and underestimating colonial capabilities, contributing to their defeat. These battles and strategies are deeply interwoven, with other aspects of the revolution, such as political diplomacy and international alliances, showing that military endeavors were not in isolation, but part of a broader struggle for independence. The successful strategies and eventual victory set a precedent for military tactics and diplomatic efforts in the emerging nation's subsequent conflicts, further cementing their importance in the narrative of the American Revolution and the birth of a nation. The heading, Key Political Developments and the Declaration of Independence, refers to crucial events and decisions during the American Revolution that fundamentally shaped the emerging United States. This concept chiefly involves the series of political maneuvers and ideological shifts that culminated in the adoption of the Declaration of Independence on July 4, 1776. As a document, the Declaration articulates the colonies' desire to break free from British rule, asserting their inherent rights and underscoring grievances against King George III. The significance of these developments is immense, as they marked the formal assertion of autonomy by the United States and laid the philosophical foundation for the new nation. One landmark example of these developments is the First Continental Congress in 1774, where delegates from 12 of the 13 colonies convened to discuss resistance against the British Parliament's coercive acts. This gathering set a precedent for collective action and unity among the colonies. Another critical instance is the drafting and adoption of the Declaration of Independence itself. Crafted primarily by Thomas Jefferson, it was a radical assertion of self-determination that not only articulated the colonies' right to revolt, but also espoused universal principles of liberty and equality. The Declaration remains a cornerstone of American political philosophy and continues to inspire democratic movements worldwide. Figures like John Adams and Benjamin Franklin championed its ideals, while philosophers like John Locke influenced its underlying concepts by advocating for the natural rights of individuals. However, the idea of independence was not universally accepted and was met with opposition from loyalists who remained faithful to the British Crown. They feared economic instability and military retribution from Britain. Others, including enslaved individuals and indigenous peoples, were largely excluded from the freedoms espoused in the Declaration, a point that invites significant criticism and necessitates more inclusive interpretations. Despite these controversies, the Declaration fundamentally influenced other facets of the American Revolution by rallying colonial support and garnering international sympathy, crucially aiding in securing French military and financial assistance. It helped to transform a series of regional protests into a unified struggle for national independence, underpinning the philosophical and moral justification for the revolution. The tensions and developments surrounding the Declaration of Independence mirror the broader complexities of establishing a nation based on principles of liberty, challenges that continue to shape American identity and governance today. These key political developments remain pivotal in understanding the birth of the United States and its enduring struggles with equality and inclusion.